Welcome back. Now for your 5-day weather forecast, we go outside to Bridget Trong.
Thanks, guys. It looks like the rain is only temporary with warmer temperatures looming around the corner. We can expect some clear skies by later this afternoon with a high of 9 degrees in Toronto. Now let's take a look at your 5-day forecast. For tonight, temperatures will remain steady at 6 degrees with a low of 2 degrees overnight. It's the luck of the Irish on Thursday with double digits in your forecast. There will be some cloudy periods with a high of 13 degrees. Luckily, the mild weather will continue into Friday with 13 degrees as well. And on Saturday, we will see more sunshine with temperatures dropping slightly down to 6 degrees. On the first day of spring on Sunday, expect temperatures to remain consistent with 6 degrees once again. And it's good to know that winter will be wrapping up with some favorable weather. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Bridget. Turning now to more national and international news. Soldiers and riot police continue to crack down on protesters in Bahrain using tear gas and armored vehicles to disperse crowds of anti-government demonstrations. A growing movement challenging the kingdom's 200-year monarchy is pushing Bahrain towards sectarian violence. 2 people were killed and dozens were injured in this morning's full-scale assault on Pearl Square, the center of the continued Arab uprising. Across the country, 5 people were killed for what witnesses are calling a campaign of intimidation towards majority Shiites.
Committee hearings to determine whether the Harper government and 1 cabinet minister are in contempt of Parliament have begun in Ottawa. The hearings come a week after Speaker Peter Milliken ruled the government breached parliamentary privilege. The government refused to disclose estimated costs for its crime agenda, corporate tax cuts, and plans to purchase stealth fighter jets. Milliken also ruled International Cooperation Minister Bev Oda misled Parliament over an altered government document. Today marks the start of 3 days of hearings that will determine whether Milliken's rulings are upheld and if sanctions should be imposed.
The aggressive actions against Ottawa women by Stacey Bonds is under review as Ontario's Special Investigations Unit charged Police Officer Sergeant Stephen Desjardins with sexual assault. The alleged assault took place in September 2008 when police took Bonds into custody and subjected her to a controversial strip search. The search was captured by surveillance video and later released to the public by a judge. The video shows Bonds being assaulted several times by 4 police officers before having her shirt and bra cut by Desjardins with scissors.
A Thunder Bay murder trial was adjourned after a judge ruled it impossible to convene a jury representative of the city's Aboriginal population. The adjournment follows a case from last week in which the Ontario Court of Appeal ordered a judicial inquiry into whether Thunder Bay's district jury role accurately represents Aboriginals. Terry Waboose, Deputy Grand Chief for the Esquimalt First Nation, says the delay in the murder trial proves the concerns about Aboriginal representation affect the whole system.
A Catholic high school student from Thunder Bay was suspended for a day after supporting choice over life with respect to abortion. 15-year-old Alexandra Seglet was sent home after she wore a green strip of tape on her school uniform with the word choice on it. Some students at St. Patrick's High School had been wearing red tape with the word life on it. The school's administration approved that action, which supported a student anti-abortion group. Following Zeglet's suspension, 24 of her peers also added green tape to their uniforms. 4 of these students were suspended as well.
And now with your sports news, here's Miranda Anthesol.
The Humber men's basketball team will take to the court tomorrow afternoon to kick off the CCAA National Championships. The Hawks will face Mount St. Vincent University during the opening round of the 3-day tournament. The men have had a hugely successful season, winning their 3rd straight OCAA title. In pro sports, the Leafs look to keep their waning playoff hopes alive tonight as they take on the Carolina Hurricanes. The Buds have called up top prospect Nazem Kadri and defenseman Matt Lashoff from the Toronto Marlies. The Leafs currently sit 6 points behind Buffalo for the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference and 4 points behind the Carolina Hurricanes. It became necessary to call up Kadri, who has been scoring at a point-per-game pace in the American Hockey League, when the Leafs lost forward Colby Armstrong for the season with a broken foot. In other Leafs news, the team has announced the signing of defenseman Jake Gardner. Gardner was acquired in February in the Francois Beauchemin deal. In other NHL news, the legal soap opera in Phoenix has taken yet another twist. The Goldwater Institute, the watchdog group stalling the sale of the Phoenix Coyotes, has announced it would file a lawsuit against the city of Glendale and potential owner Michael Halsizer if the deal were to close. Goldwater argues that the sale of bonds violates Arizona's laws that prevent private businesses being bailed out with taxpayer money. All this turmoil is giving hockey fans in both Winnipeg and Quebec City reason to get excited, as both places have interest in bringing NHL hockey back to their respective cities. Taking a look at the NBA, the Raps are on the road for their next 6 out of 7 games. Their first stop is Motor City, where they will be facing off against the Detroit Pistons tonight. The Raps are coming off of a 95-90 loss to the Charlotte Bobcats and have won only 3 of their last 10 games. Tip-off time is at 7:30. And in tennis news, youth has triumphed over experience. 20-year-old Canadian tennis star Milos Raonic has been defeated in the BNP Paribas Open by an even younger player. 18-year-old Ryan Harrison of the U.S. beat the Thornhill native in 4 sets. Raonic has catapulted to a career high, ranked number 37th in the world. This loss is only his 4th of the season so far. Now you're up to date with your sports news. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Miranda. After the break, we'll get the latest in entertainment from Richard Hinkson.
Coming up in entertainment, Bryan Adams gets immortalized, Alec Baldwin gets blacked out, and we say goodbye to a G-Funk icon. All this and more after the break.